Writing the rules for all transformations. So if we look here for translation, the physical, oops, hold on, honey. Yes, write this down. The physical and letter. This is why I said you need extra paper. The physical and letter orientation is the same. Also, when you draw lines, I write this. When you draw lines, it's a horrible looking W. When you draw lines from letter to letter, they will be parallel. Okay, so translation. This is how you tell a translation. The physical orientation is the same. The letter orientation, okay, ZSC, goes in the same order when you're going clockwise. And if I were to draw lines from the letter to the letter prime, they will be parallel. Okay, so it has to go from S to S prime, C to C prime. They will be parallel. Okay, so the letters are in the same order. You can draw parallel lines. Physical orientation is also the same. It's just a slide, right? Either a slide diagonal, right, left, up, down. Okay, reflection. Reflection, the letter orientation is different. That's the only one that the letter orientation is different. So if you want to start with the letter orientation, and if it's different, it's automatically a reflection. You writing this down? Okay, so the letter orientation is different, right? C, Q, D, T, or I? I don't know. I can't read it. C, Q, D, I. C, I, D, Q. It's not in the same order. Okay? Automatically reflection. Also, you can still draw the lines from letter to letter, but they will always be perpendicular to the reflection, the line of reflection. So see how this line is perpendicular, means it makes a right angle? Then it's a reflection. Now when I did this one, because it was just translated straight across, when I drew the lines, they were also perpendicular to an axis line, right? But the letter orientation is the same, so it's not a reflection. And you can kind of look. Some of you can kind of look. Is this a reflection? Did this flip? No. Okay, so look for that. Look for a flip. This flipped down. All right, so, but on a reflection, the lines are always perpendicular to an axis. Okay, and then the last one, rotation. The letter orientation is the same. So G-E-J, G-E-J. And then if you draw lines from letter to letter, they are not parallel. So lines are not parallel. From letter to letter. So this is where I would start. I would start just looking at the shapes and seeing if you can kind of see what it is. Then I would go to the letters. Are the letters in the same order? If they are in the same order, you cross out reflection. Okay, if they're not in the same order, then you know automatically it's a reflection. And then I would draw my, like if I'm still unsure, I would check. If I drew lines from letter to letter, are they parallel? Okay, if they're parallel, then it's a translation or reflection. But if the letters are in the same order, it's a translation. Okay, so does everyone have this down? Almost? All right. Okay, I'm going to look at this. First thing I'm going to do is just kind of look at it and kind of get into your, kind of just look and see. Does it look like a translation, a reflection, or a rotation? So I hear some of you say translation. So the first thing I would do is check the letters. FCX. FCX. Okay, they're in the same, so that rules out reflection. Now, can I draw lines? This one's a little bit hard to tell. That are going to be parallel to, yes. So they are parallel. It's kind of hard to tell because these lines are very close. They are parallel. So you would say it's a translation. So it's a translation. We're going to practice doing both. I don't know. You don't have this one, right?
No.
Translation. And then you just take the letter and you go to the prime. How many did you go? Remember, you're going to do left, right first. You went right, so 1 unit, right? And then how many units did you go up? 1, 2, 3, 4 units up. 4 units up. Do you need the word unit? Yes. And then my algebraic rule would be xy becomes x, how do I say 1 unit up? Right. Plus 1, comma, y, how do I say 4 units up? Plus 4. There's my algebraic rule. Okay? So, I want you to do these 3. Didn't hit, all that, and I didn't even hit record. What? Oh, we got to erase it and do it all over. Oh, yeah. I know. Okay. All right. So now, let's look at this one. Check the letter orientation. W, X, Y, V. W, V, Y, X. Is it the same? No. It is a reflection. So automatically you can say reflection. If those if those letters are not in the same order. That's why I check the letters first, because you want to either rule in or rule out a reflection. But remember, just kind of look at it and say, what does this look like? Sometimes they're hard to tell. Sometimes you can see if it's a flip. But sometimes reflections also look like rotations. So, reflection, what axis are they going over? Across the y-axis. And so, xy becomes, which one's negative? X, negative x. Remember, if you're going over the y, you leave the y alone. So, if you wanted to look at the lines, are these parallel to each other? Yes, parallel to each other. Those first. Are they parallel to the reflection, the line of reflection? Yes. Yes. I mean, they're perpendicular. Did I say perpendicular? Perpendicular to the line of reflection. Okay? I want you to do that one. So that should be the next one on your sheet. Oh, where is that one? No. Yeah, that one. Alrighty. Where did that one? We're on this one. Let's look. H-I-G. H-G-I. Are they in the same order? So it is a reflection. What does it go over? Across what? Across the x-axis. And you can look. Remember, your line will be perpendicular to the line of reflection. So these are all perpendicular to this line. A little hard to see when you... Now, what's the algebraic? Which one's negative? Y. Alright, so we already went over this. Now let's look at these ones. Do you have this one on your sheet? No? Okay, so this is just me. Let's start with the letters. B-C-A. B-C-A. There, oh, G. Sorry. B-C-D-A. B-C-D-A. They're already in the same order. Okay, so it rules out reflection. You're either a translation or rotation. So, see how this B is in the top left? Do I have a B in the top left? No. So it is not a translation. Rotation. Now, this is what I do. Guys, this is what I do. I take a letter in my pre-image. I take a letter in my pre-image, and I go to the image letter. Do not pick a letter on the axis line. Okay? And so there's a couple ways you can do this. How many quadrants do you go through? I always just go clockwise. Okay? Go clockwise. How many quadrants do you go? Here's 1, 2. How many quadrants do I go? 2. So 2 times 90 is? Yeah, 2 times 90. So this is a 180-degree turn. So each quadrant is 90 degrees. 90, 180. Now, when you have a rotation 180 degrees, does it matter if it's clockwise or counterclockwise? No, you don't write it. So you would just say rotation 180 degrees about the origin. You have to have about the origin. All right? So how many quadrants? And don't count the one you're in. 1, 2. And then multiply it times 90. Or you can say 90, 180, 270. You can. It's still 1, 2. Okay? All right, so you have this one. So first, let's check the letter orientation. EFD. EFD, it's the same. What's ruled out? Reflection. No, it's not a reflection. So see the E is on the top? Is the E on the top on this one? So it's not a translation, so it is a rotation. Now, what letter should we pick? E. Okay, so we start with the letter, not letter prime, the letter. And we're going to go here. So, how many quadrants? Here's 1, 2, 3. 3 quadrants, 3 times 90 is 270, and this is clockwise. You can go the other way. How many quadrants did you go through? 90, what? Counterclockwise. Either one is correct. So rotation, I'm going to say 270 degrees clockwise about the origin. I should have wrote that in blue, because this is the blue one. The other way you can do it is turn your paper. I mean, you can turn your paper and you say, okay, I want this E to be in quadrant 3 on the left side, and turn your paper until this E is in quadrant 3 on the left side. I think that's a little bit harder than just, drawing the line to how many quadrants you're going through. All right, let's try this one. Check the letters. F, G, E. F, G, E. They're the same, right? So it rules out reflection. So this E is on the left. Is E on the left? No, it's on the bottom. So it rules out translation. So let's pick G. Ready, Pat? Which direction do you want to go, clockwise or counter? Counter. So we are going 1. There's a note sheet over there. So this is rotation 90 degrees counterclockwise. I'm surprised you don't want to do clockwise. Less writing. Counterclockwise about the origin. No. So the question was, does it matter which letter you pick? Because if I pick E and I go to this E, I'm going what? 90 degrees counterclockwise. The only one you don't want to pick, same here. I'm going one more. Oh, if you go this way, it's clockwise. So you can say 270 clockwise. No, you can have either answer. But just don't pick one on an axis line. All right, do this one. Like you would never pick N or whatever, F or whatever this letter is. I think it's S. Do this one on your own. Let's start pressing this one. Okay, what's my rule? Rotation. 90 degrees clockwise rotation about the origin? That is correct. No, you can go back to class. Okay, real quick. What does it look like? SWK, SWK.
180 degrees.
So it's a 180. It's a rotation. I didn't excuse anybody. How about this one? FMZ, FZM, reflection. How about this one? Reflection. And this last one?
Rotation.
Rotation. Okay, you're excused.